Lean manufacturing is a management philosophy that focuses on reducing waste and implementing a flow-based production line rather than a batch and queue method. It's aimed at reducing costs and improving overall customer value. Process cycle efficiency, or PCE, is a lean metric used to improve processes by measuring process efficiency. PCE answers the question, how lean is your process? Finding a process's PCE involves using a formula to find out how much time in the process cycle adds value for the customer. To get a PCE value, you compare the value added time to the lead time, or overall time it takes to complete the process from start to finish. Value added time is the time in the process that a customer would consider necessary to create the product or service. In a car manufacturing plant, the value added time would be represented, for example, by the time spent on assembling and adding a high-end navigation system in the car. Value added time refers to the time when the product is being worked on, rather than the time spent on such activities as human resources, administration, or marketing. All the other time involved in the process can be thought of as wait time. By using value stream mapping, an organization can reduce the waste in a process and focus only on those activities that are considered value added. There's usually a gap between the actual PCE values in a given industry and the desirable cycle efficiency rates that can be achieved. These desirable rates, known as world-class levels of leanness, vary by industry and process. When an organization uses benchmarking to compare its PCE values to the best practices in its industry, the organization can identify how much more efficient its process cycle can potentially become. In one example of process cycle efficiency, a Six Sigma team at a soft drink bottling company is calculating the process cycle efficiency of the mixing process. The team would like to have the process cycle efficiency, or PCE, reach a relatively lean level of 20%. The team must start by determining the current PCE. From customer feedback, the team members determine a value-added time of 3 minutes by adding up the required time to actually mix up the ingredients. They do not include time spent monitoring and recording the process for the organizational database. That time adds no value for the customer. This means that the numerator in the PCE formula is 3. The time it takes to mix the raw ingredients and prepare them for bottling is 26 minutes. To calculate PCE, the team takes the value-added time of 3 and divides it by the lead time of 26 to get a resulting PCE of 0.115. They express this as a percentage by multiplying by 100. The result of 11.5% indicates that the mixing process is not sufficiently lean and certainly has room for improvement. Opportunities for cost reduction exist in any process with a low PCE. Reducing work in progress, or WIP, and shortening lead time can increase a process's efficiency by increasing the relative proportion of value-added activities. Value-added time cannot be increased for the same product, so the only way to increase the ratio is to lower the overall lead time. This increases the relative amount of value-added time. There are other opportunities as well, such as reducing queue time and other delays, and eliminating waste. Teams can also work to increase the proportion of touch time, which is that portion of the cycle time where an operator adds value while handling the product. Another tool that can be used to increase efficiency across processes is a cumulative flow diagram. A cumulative flow diagram is a visual tool that shows the relative amount of tasks that are complete, the number of tasks that are in the approval stage, and in the remaining stages of testing, development, analysis, design, and backlog. Using a vertical cross-section of the graph, each of the areas can be compared. Those areas which are larger than others can indicate a bottleneck or an inefficient amount of work in progress. For instance, a cross-section may show that the development stage has been growing steadily over time. This indicates that the development work in progress is backing up before analysis is beginning. There may be an opportunity to either move generalists to other tasks or identify waste that may be occurring along the value stream. Teams sometimes hesitate to acknowledge some of these metrics for fear of judgment. A positive attitude should be enforced towards the use of metrics within teams. Metrics should be approached as a way to assess processes, not people, and to determine whether changes to the processes bring the intended results and improvements.